Hey, what's up? This is Matt Dietz, and this is Agency Launch. This is the show where I talk about what it's like to run an insurance agency. So I talk about marketing and sales and retention and staffing. If you could do those four things well, you have a good chance to be successful. Okay. Hey, if you want some more help, do me a favor, send me a text 208-213-8809. I put together a resource for you with a ton of free stuff. There are some podcasts in there, some YouTube channels, there are some free downloadable assets in there. It's all free. And it's all vetted by me. So these are resources that I trust and that can genuinely help you make some positive movement in your agency. Okay, so today I wanted to just tell a story. And the moral of this story essentially is don't stop fighting for your clients. Okay, so I have a household that it's a big household. Okay, it's one of the largest in my agency, and their home has not been eligible in my company for quite some time due to where it's in town. I think we should cover it. Okay, I've thought this for years. They're 1.7 miles from a fire station, but they were classified as a 9 protection class, and that kicked us out. So I had to write it with a different company, and it's a nice home. It's close to $3 million worth of coverage, and the premium recently went from $16,000 a year to $22,000 a year. Ouch. So they called. Oh, they're getting a refi. My clients are getting a refi, and their mortgage broker looked at the premium on that policy and went, wow, I think you might be able to do better, and got a quote for them from another carrier, and it was $10,000 less. It was $12,000. Now, these clients of mine have been with me a long 15 plus years. We have a great relationship. They do not want to go anywhere else. So they reached out to me and they said, Matt, we're going through a refi. I got this quote. We don't want to leave. Is there anything you can do? I was like, all right, I'm going to take a hard run at this finally. So I call a colleague of mine who I trust, and we talk and help each other out with problems. And I said, hey, ma'am, is there any place else I can put this? This seems like it should be covered. So we actually both pull it up. He's like, yeah, this is in town. What's the problem? I said, it's a 9. He goes, it might not be a 9. He said, our carrier hasn't updated their codes, and some of these codes have been changed because there's been a lot of building in town. There are new fire stations going up. There's new hydrants going up. There's new stuff happening all the time. And he says, our company isn't always up to date. So he went to the resource where we can find what this really is. And he said, hey, I'm looking at it right now, and it's an 8. Our company says it's a 9, but they're wrong. I was like, all right. So that's the first thing that I needed to figure out. So I called my district manager, and I was like, hey, man, this is what I'm trying to do. This is one of my best clients. I want to bring the home back. They say it's a 9, it's an 8. What do we do? He says, all right, let me see what we can do for you. He gets me in touch with someone in a different department who can get eyes on this. And she starts asking questions. She's looking at it, and she says, okay, I need a letter from the fire chief stating essentially how are they going to put this fire out, if there is one. And we need pictures because the dwelling, it's a very nice home, but our 360 value was coming back with, I don't know, with about half of what we needed it to be. So they said we need pictures. I said, okay. So we call the fire chief, and he sends a letter to this woman saying this is how the fire is going to be put out. They're going to send, 3 big tanker trucks out there, and that'll put the fire out. So now sometimes this will hit a hard no with my company because of the way maybe we are filed with the state and the Department of Insurance. Sometimes if this was written somewhere that said, hey, we're not going to take this house because it's an 8 and it doesn't have a hydrant within 1,000 feet, that is a hard no. That's the way we filed. If we take this house, we have to make exceptions for all others like this. Sometimes you will hit a hard stop with this and you're done. Okay, I was hoping that wasn't the case. The fact that they continue to move this forward and that a letter from the fire chief might mean that this is not necessarily a hard stop, but maybe it's a strong underwriting recommendation. Now we can chase forward and try and state a case. Okay, so I got the letter from the fire chief and got it back in the hands of this woman who's trying to help me out. She replies to the fire chief and asks another question. She wants some clarification. Now I got 10 days to get this done. Okay, so the fire chief does not respond. We call him back. We email for like 4 days. Nothing from this guy. Now I've got like 3 days to get this done. So I replied to her. I was like, look, this is what the fire chief told us. He said they'd send 3 trucks. They'd get water all over it. There would be another set of 3 trucks 5 minutes behind. That cleared that hurdle. She says, okay, I need pictures. I said, all right, okay. So I knew that we were going to need pictures at some point. So the client was like, on hold. I was like, send me the pictures. So we blast all these pictures to this lady and she looks at him. She goes, okay, let me see what we can do. She comes back yesterday. She's like, okay, are they willing to take a 2% deductible? And I said, no. I said, they're not going to take a $58,000 deductible. I said, we only do that if there's a claim in the last 7 years that's been water. If there's been a claim in the last 7 years due to water, they have to carry a 2% deductible. This is not the case with this household. I said, no. I said, they want to do it. They'll take a $10,000 deductible, maybe a 15. Send it back. Now it's the day of. I got to do this. Like this thing renews tomorrow. I get an email first thing this morning. It says, okay, they're willing to do it for $15,000. And it was done. So, and actually they're going to end up doing it for 10 because we don't offer a 15,000. So we're going to do it with a $10,000 deductible. The State Farm quote, which was the quote they got from the mortgage broker, had a 1% deductible, which is almost 30,000. We're going to come in at 10 and with less premium. So this was a big win. This is why they have an agent that's willing to go through all of this. My moral is I love when my company says no and I turn around and I get them to say yes. It validates why I am here. It makes me very happy to do this for my clients. This is going to finally attach to their autos again, and their autos are going to drop 15%, and this is just a really big win. So if you have something that you really believe in, if you really believe that a home should be covered or a claim should be covered or that a bill was wrong or that the error wasn't your client's or yours, fight for it, get after it, get in front of the right people. It's good to have the company on your side. And I responded to this woman and I said, thank you so much. This is what working together through with different departments looks like, because I'm so tired of people looking for a way to say no. I'm looking for people who are looking for a way to say yes. And this was a huge win, and I'm so excited. Anyway, I wanted to share that with you. If you ever come across a denial or something, you want to build resources within your company to help you get this stuff pushed through and accepted. And so put in the energy, put in the time, be kind to the people in your company. Don't be hanging up on people. Don't be yelling at people. You want to have solid relationships because that's what this kind of stuff will do for you. Okay. If you're known as the guy who's patient and kind and you're willing to get the information, get it in front of the right people, you can get stuff like this done. This is a big win for me. So anyway, I wanted to share that with you. My name's Matt. This is Agency Launch. Don't forget to send me a text, 208-213-8809 with the word free. If you want any help, I have layers of ways to help you. Go to agencylaunch.net. You can buy an online course that I've just dropped to a ridiculous amount. It's there for you. It's everything that I wish I knew when I was running an agency. It's how to run an agency. It's on demand, and it's rich. It's all me telling you how to do very specific things. And then my deck of cards is there for you as well. You can buy both of them as a package, all kinds of stuff. And then if you want some personal attention, I also do one-on-one coaching. You can book a call and see what that's like. Hey, thank you so much for listening. Keep up the good work.